Hey there, family. Hope you're doing great. It is February 3rd, 2020. Hope you're doing great. Thought I would talk about a few things here from a journaling perspective. We're here in Jersey Village area, and it's 2020. So financially, things are going good. It can always go better, right? So there was financial difficulty a couple years ago, and so we're still digging ourselves out of that from a standpoint of paying people off, people as in credit cards and things like that. And then we had to sell everything, so then we had to buy things when we moved down here. So it creates a little bit of a stressor there. But one thing I hope that you're getting is that although we have these different stressors, it's not, I think it's just not a place to convey that to the children. I think it's important to be able to be financially responsible and help them understand financial responsibility, but I don't think it's in your place to be wondering where the next meal is coming. That's really what mom and I need to be focused on in order for us to be able to provide for the family and what we need to do in order to be saving for the future and getting ourselves ready. And so want to be able to make sure that you understand that it's not secrecy. We want to be as transparent, but when you're young, like when you're one of the questions we ask you on your birthdays is how much does a car cost? How much is a movie ticket? And so when you're really young, you have no context of money, and as you age, you start understanding a little bit more. But even in high school, you don't really have a context of how much a car costs, how much auto insurance is, like all these underlying costs that come with buying a vehicle, financing it, the gas that gets involved with it, and so it's not just one cost. And so the other thing is, I think sometimes money can be a complete distraction. It's important to provide for our different needs and wants, but it shouldn't be the all of that you're searching for, and it doesn't provide happiness. It can buy us moments, it can buy us memories, it can create things, but our true happiness really comes on what we're focused on in our lives. It's actually a recent President Nelson talk is that happiness isn't about what is in our lives, but the focus of our lives. And I firmly agree. I think I know a lot of people that have a lot of the trappings of life, wealth, job, power, successful family, children, spouse, but yet they're not finding themselves filled with happiness. And so it has nothing to do with those outside influences or accomplishments. It has everything to do with how they feel on the inside and what their focus is in life. Money, though, for a lot of people becomes a complete difficulty. A lot of times it's based on our limiting beliefs. Someone that doesn't get enough education will say the reason why they don't earn enough is because of the lack of education. The person that has the education will talk about the lack of opportunity. The person that has opportunities in front of them will talk about the lack of finances to be able to invest in those different opportunities. The person that has those opportunities, maybe even has the finances, will talk about the lack of time then that they have to be able to spend with what's really important in their lives. And so oftentimes people will limit themselves and what they're experiencing based on what their circumstances are, and it all happens right here. And so it doesn't mean that just because you believe that you can be wealthy that instantaneously the money comes. But when you believe that wealth is in your DNA, it's within your grasp, you can accomplish that, you can have those trappings of wealth, then you end up having it. Mainly because you find ways to get it. It's not an obsessiveness. It's a focus, though, that you're focused on providing value. You're providing some kind of resource, whether that's service or product, and you're bringing that to the marketplace that then will pay you for those services. So it's not that someone with a PhD earns more, but more likely than not, they do earn more because they're providing value to the marketplace. Those that are truly successful at accumulating a lot of wealth when they're entrepreneurial are focused on providing a service or product in an area that they think there is lack. And so I just want to be able to bring this up as context, because I don't want you to get caught up in, number one, the trappings of life, the brands of clothing, the brands of stuff. It doesn't matter as long as you're doing your best and the clothing that you have are presentable, the car that you have is somewhat presentable, the house that you live in. It's more about us adjusting to our lifestyle and not feeling like we need more. It reminds me of an old country song that how does it go? Basically it's about a plumber visiting this girl and how she's telling the plumber, like, oh, sorry, the kids are young and they're noisy, and he's like, oh, don't worry, one day they're gonna get older. And I've got he's like, I got two babies of my own, one's 35, one's 23, and there's a huge gap there. But and then another time, like, she's visiting with her dad, and like, oh, Dad, yeah, when we get out of this apartment, we'll get into this house, we'll get another bigger house. And it's like, don't worry, like, just enjoy what you have here. And so that's kind of the thought process, is sometimes people are so focused on what they don't have, they're dissatisfied, or they're so focused on what they want in the future, they don't actually appreciate what's happening right now in front of their faces. And that can completely steal them from the happiness that they should be experiencing right now. And so I want you to be able to have plans, have goals, have aspirations, put in the work for a better future. Appreciate, be grateful for, and love every moment of every day, even the tough moments. Now, you might not say, Heavenly Father, I'm grateful for this trial, I'm grateful for this struggle, I'm grateful, but have a smile on your face, because remember, someone is having it worse than you are in the moment that you feel you are having the worst moments of your life. Love, Dad. Dad's out.